10 tons of dung beetles released into the savannah by President Ibrahim Traore of Burkina Faso. At first, it sounds absurd, almost like a joke. But this shocking move is real, and Traore claims it could save his country from collapse. Is this a genius ecological strategy, or pure madness? Today, we dive deep into the controversy, the science, the politics, and the hidden agenda behind Burkina Faso's dung beetle army. To understand why 10 tons of beetles matter, we must first understand the crisis facing Burkina Faso. The country has been trapped in a cycle of insecurity, poverty, and environmental disaster. Once called the land of honest men, today Burkina Faso is fighting to survive against three enemies: terrorism in the Sahel, the collapse of agriculture, and the growing shadow of foreign powers like France, Russia, and China. The soil is drying. The deserts are spreading. Crops are failing. Farmers are abandoning their lands. For Traore, who came to power after a coup, the battle for survival is not just military. It's ecological. Ibrahim Traore is no ordinary president. At just 34 years old, he became the world's youngest leader after ousting a pro-French government in 2022. Seen by many as the heir to Thomas Sankara, Africa's legendary revolutionary, Traore promised sovereignty, independence, and radical reforms. Like Sankara, Traore believes Burkina Faso must free itself not just from colonial chains, but also from ecological collapse. While France and the West offer weapons and debt, Traore is looking to the soil, the land, and even the tiniest creatures for solutions. Dung beetles may be small, but they are nature's engineers. By burying animal waste, they fertilize the soil, recycle nutrients, and help grasslands flourish. Without them, savannas turn barren. With them, ecosystems are reborn. Scientists say dung beetles can restore degraded land faster than chemical fertilizers. They reduce parasites, improve crop yields, and even fight climate change by locking carbon into the soil. In short, they are nature's secret weapon. But 10 tons? That's millions of beetles. Why would a president release so many at once? Traore says it's part of a national strategy to fight desertification, boost food security, and restore the savanna. Not everyone is convinced. Some call Traore's dung beetle release a desperate stunt. Critics ask, can beetles really save a collapsing nation? Or is this just a distraction from Burkina Faso's political turmoil? Opponents say Traore should focus on security, not insects. Others accuse him of using the beetles as propaganda, a way to appear like a visionary leader while the country still bleeds from terrorism. Supporters, however, argue the opposite. This is exactly the kind of bold, revolutionary thinking Africa needs. While France sends soldiers and China sends weapons, Traore is investing in the land itself. Instead of bombs, beetles. Instead of dependency, self-reliance. The world is watching. France, once the colonial master, mocks Traore's beetle plan as childish. Chinese officials, however, see an opportunity. Beijing has already offered to support ecological restoration in Burkina Faso, potentially linking it to the Belt and Road Initiative. Environmental NGOs in Europe are divided. Some hail Traore as a visionary, others dismiss him as naive. In reality, this beetle release is more than an environmental policy. It's a geopolitical statement. Traore is saying, Burkina Faso will solve its problems in its own way, not by obeying foreign masters. Can 10 tons of dung beetles really change Burkina Faso? Scientists say yes, but with risks. If the beetles thrive, they could regenerate soil, restore pastures, and increase food production. Farmers may see higher crop yields, reducing reliance on imported fertilizers. But what if the release backfires? Introducing massive insect populations can disrupt local ecosystems. If the beetles carry diseases or outcompete native species, the savanna could collapse further. The plan is bold, but it's also dangerous. This is why Traore's gamble is so controversial. It's either genius or catastrophic. In the end, the dung beetle release is about more than insects. It's about symbolism. Traore is sending a message. Burkina Faso will fight for survival with its own hands, its own soil, its own creatures. To many Africans, that is inspiring. To critics, it's reckless. This strange story forces us to ask, what does it mean to save a nation? With soldiers and guns? Or with beetles and soil? Is this the future of African independence, radical ecological experiments instead of colonial dependency? 10 tons of dung beetles. A president willing to gamble the fate of his nation on the smallest creatures in the savannah. Genius or madness? Visionary or reckless? Only time will tell if Ibrahim Traore's shocking move will save Burkina Faso or bury it deeper in crisis.